$1,073. Motion made by Alderman Holt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Williams. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. We go to mayor's report. Several items to discuss, to report. I'll be quick. On September 21st, we were, City of Dellwood did participate in Riverview Gardens Homecoming Parade. Excellent turnout. We were there representing the City of Dellwood. On October 1st, we had one of our first major night out events. Very successful. A lot of residents came out. I want to thank the police department and all the elected officials that showed up. We had a great time. Had a lot of new neighbors who have not met before, and I think even the neighborhood watch were able to get a few new people in their meeting as well as a night out to join the group. So we're thankful for that. All in all, it was a great event, and thank those who did attend. On October 3rd, I did a voter education, ballot education presentation at the Urban League Senior Building with Alderwoman Loretta Johnson, and we went over there to educate our seniors in the building about the ballot. There's a lot of confusing things on the ballot, and so it was a great event with those residents. They were excited and look forward to voting. Also on October 8th, I attended the Riverview Gardens School Board meeting, nothing major. Just wanted to make sure and see what's going on with the district. I do plan on also attending Hazelwood and Ferguson Florissant, because Dellwood is one unique city that has 3 school districts in our small municipality. So Riverview is the biggest representation in Dellwood. And so I did attend that meeting October the 8th. On October the 10th, there was a Reclaiming Vacant Property Conference in town. It's a national conference. And that is the national conference dedicated to strengthening neighborhoods to help address vacant and abandoned and deteriorated properties. They toured the city of Dellwood / Ferguson. I spoke to a large group of attendees at the R&R Marketplace, which they were hosted there to kind of see some of the renovations that happened since, Michael Brown incident. And our very own Cordell Patrick, those who've been around for a while, was my former city administrator. He was in attendance at the conference, who now works for Decatur, Illinois, as the economic development director. It was good to see him, and his entire staff was there as well. So it was a great event, and I spoke to them and just told them about what was going on here in Dellwood and how we recovered and all the other efforts that we have underway. They're very impressed. On October 11th, I had a meeting with the senior building property manager. Just to go over, I talked to some residents. They had some little concerns, nothing major, but just wanted to meet with them, to meet with her, to kind of make sure their voices were heard and different things to, just make the place a better place. All in all, everyone's very happy there. 44 units are totally filled. I did find out there's a waiting list of 60 people at their facility. So if you know somebody new that wants to get in, it'd be a while. Unfortunately, there was a resident that passed a couple weeks ago from natural causes. Her funeral was, I think, this past week. Also, I played bingo that Friday. We're back that day and played bingo. So they play bingo most Fridays. They play bingo, so I was able to attend that, which was great. McConnell and Associates, who are the individuals that renovated the rec center, they won an award from the American Sports Builders Association, and the category was indoor sports facility, and it was for their work on the Dellwood Rec Center. And so that they will receive an award on December the 4th, 2024. And that was due to the work that was amazing work and transformation of that rec center. This week, residents will get a letter and a card in the mail talking about our Souls to the Polls program that we're doing. And we're going to take residents to the polls this Thursday, I think 1 o'clock to the St. Anne location. Next Thursday, the satellite offices will open. So we're going to take residents next Thursday to the Lewis and Clark Library, which will be a location for voting. And on election day, we're going to make 3 trips from, I think, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 4 p.m. Residents can call and get a ride to the Dellwood Rec Center for voting. So that information will hit the mail hopefully this week. And residents, all they have to do is call and sign up. So if you know anybody, doesn't have to be a senior, anybody that needs a ride to vote, I'm going to take them this Thursday to St. Anne next Thursday to Lewis and Clark. And on election day, they'll have a 9, 1, and 4 o'clock time to choose from. Also, in the previous meeting, we talked about starting a LEAF program. That will happen. Meeting with the city administrator and met with the public works director. You will get that very soon. Basically, it's very simple. When the program starts, all residents will have to rake their leaves to the front of the yard, not in the street, but to the front and not in the gutter. And we'll have certain days that will, the public works will pick those up. We do have machinery now that they won't be picking up by hand, they won't be raking in bags. So you don't have to feel sorry for them. There's some new technology that was available that is basically a big vacuum. And we'll probably show you that once we have a demonstration to show you that. So that's going to start October 28th until November 30th. So you have a 30-day window, and it'll be on Mondays and Wednesdays. And all you got to do is get it to the front. And that's excluding any holidays. So if Monday and Wednesdays falls on holiday, they won't pick them up at that time.
November
30th.
30th.
So it's a 30-day program. And hopefully all the leaves will fall by then. If they don't, you're young. Because most of us you should have yard waste with Republic Services. But this will, eliminate having those big bags and 10, 12 bags some people have to just get the leaves up. So we're going to try it. So, may not go perfect, but it's the first time doing it. I think I've been approached several times by several residents to offer this program over the years. And I think it's the time to do that. So we're going to try and see what happens. And I think we're going to be successful. The team is ready. And I'll go from there. Lastly, if we receive ARPA funds from the federal government, we roughly have about $200,000 or so left. That really must be spent by the end of the year or accounted for. There are several things that we're going to propose to happen with those funds. And if you have any other ideas, please get in contact with me, our city administrator, very quickly. Make that known. But some things that we're looking at, the dog park, we need a walkway from the parking lot to the dog park. So we're looking at maybe doing something like that. Potentially purchasing smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire extinguishers for residents in the city of Dellwood that are in need. Adding more speed humps to certain streets and replacing the current speed humps with asphalt humps. A esports game room at the rec center. If you want more information about that, we're working with the city of Florence, and they have one. And their rec center was recently on Channel 5 and Tanoga Goes. A very neat project for youth. It's a very big attraction these days. Esports is like taking off like regular sports in high school, even colleges that have esports teams now and scholarships. Also, I mentioned in our last meeting, a special meeting that we had, that we were gifted a house on Chambers from a resident, and we're looking to turn that house into what's called a Dellwood Public Safety Center, which will house our police department. And it's twofold. A, it gets more visibility on, on Chambers instead of police department being down here. And also we need those offices downstairs that the police now are using. We're very tight up here. We have no space and no room for any employees. If you want to hire at least 1 or 2 more, there's no way to do that because we don't have office space. But we do have, how many offices downstairs? 2 or 3? Two offices downstairs with an open area and a jail. Still down there. And so that will free that up, and I think it'll be a good opportunity to just get the officers in another location, which will feature a conference room, a few offices, with a small cafeteria, and again, it'll be right there in the neighborhood. So those are ideas that we're going to be pushing. So and we communicate with you when those are going to take place. If you have any ideas, please contact me moving forward. With that, it ends the mayor report. I'll go into board announcements, if there are any.
Excuse me,
Alderman Carter.
Yes. On September the 14th of September, on a Saturday, we had a beautiful turnout at our second annual Ward 4 Unity in the Park. The residents enjoy free food, music, giveaways, bouncy house, and face painting for the kids. I would like to acknowledge our city clerk for her continued hard work and dedication to the city of Dellwood.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, we'll go to item I, new business, city administrator Terry Wilson.
Good evening, Mayor and Board and residents. Mayor, you were very, very busy in September. But with that being said, our code enforcement team and inspection team have been very busy as well. Last month, they wrote 41 tickets and issued 8 warnings and sent out several letters to kind of encourage folks to get up to code on some of the violations that are going on. We're making a very, very concerted effort to get more engaged with residents about being in compliance with code. And so we're working with the code enforcer on a couple of different tactics on making that happen. They had 28 inspections, 5 of them passed. 5 passed re-inspection, 10 inspections passed, and then 13 failed. We have 5 homes listed for sale in the city of Dellwood on 1600 Lakemore, 10024 Lakemore, 10430 only, 1823 Keelan, and 25 South Floridale. So those are all for sale. We've seen an uptick in sewer lateral repair requests this month. Well, last month, we completed 5 repairs. 5 are pending, and then we have 3 new that are under evaluation right now currently. So it's been a pretty busy month for the sewer lateral program. The use tax, as you all know, residents and board members, you all know we passed the use tax in April of 22. And last year's total revenue from that use tax was $59,374. But revenue so far this year, with 3 months left, we're at $82,540. So it's steady trending up. So that is definitely a good thing. Glad that we got that passed. With 3 months left, we're on pace to generate a little over $100,000 in the use tax this year, which is good. And additionally, all taxes this year are on pace to meet or exceed the projections from the budget that we budgeted. So that's great news for our city's financial health. And then lastly, I know everybody's been watching the news, but the senior tax freeze application opened up, and eligible seniors in the county can apply right now. Currently, you can apply online, or you can go in. If you all have any questions about that, City Hall will definitely be willing to help with it. Just briefly, the eligibility must be 62 years old. Property value limit, home must have an assessed valuation under $550,000. Yeah, that's it. And the application period, like I said, it opened on the 13th of October and will remain open until June 30th of 2025. And like I said earlier, all applications can be submitted in person or online. If you all have any questions about that, City Hall will be willing, I will be willing as well to assist with those questions and get you answers probably quickly than you probably would be able to just by contacting St. Louis County. With that being said, that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, City Administrator. Next, Lieutenant Thompson with his new police shoes on. I guess you run faster with those or chase back.
I'm off today.
That's not good news.
Good evening, everyone. For the month of September, we had 34 alarm calls, 4 assaults, 4 accidental injuries, 24 auto accidents, 2 burglary reports, 19 check the welfares, 1 disturbance call, 2 stolen autos, 7 larceny reports, 1 missing person, 1 missing juvenile, 4 open doors, 4 ordinance violations, 6 property damage, 2 sudden deaths, 7 sick cases, 5 suspicious persons, 5 calls for shots heard, 19 suspicious vehicles, 350 traffic violations, and 24 parking violations, and 5 911 hangups. Any questions?
Any neighborhood watch me?
We was at the National Night Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions, Lieutenant? Thank you, sir. Our not public works, our recreation center director is currently out of town to his son's wedding. And so, I have a report, but I'm gonna ask the administrator to kind of update you on, increased revenue that, the resident has experienced.
Yes, Mayor, since I was in the weeds of the numbers with the taxes, the revenue for the rec center, for last month, was $33,970.50. And so far, we're up to $52,871. And I want to put it in perspective for you all. The rec center was closed up until April. And so literally that's 6 months of revenue, compared to last year. We were like $42,000 for the full year of revenue. So things are trending in the right direction as it relates to revenue and the upgrades over there. That's all that I have, man.
Thank you. One thing I did miss in my report is that, there's the Trask and Hudson Street project that, we voted on, the grant we received from, MoDOT and East West Gateway, to correct those streets. That process started today. They were out looking at curbing and different things of that sort. And so all residents on those streets, did receive, 2 notifications, one about the project that's gonna happen, and 2 about the start date, which is today. And that project is scheduled to be completed, before the Thanksgiving, holiday. So with that, it concludes the business portion of our meeting. Now it's public portion. If you have any public comments, please state your name, address, and your public comment.
Trina Clark, 71 South Florida. I have a couple of issues. We did get 4 new people on the neighborhood watch at the National Night Out. That was very good. And on that street, lives next door to Laverne, the man or whoever he is did 4 donuts down in my cul-de-sac and burned rubber on one of them. And I sent all the information to the lieutenant, so hopefully that will get followed up on. And my friend came over, she lives on South Sluter, and she goes, "Do they know about that sinkhole at the beginning of your street?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm gonna fall in that." I go,
Which one falling in about a week or so, it'll be done.
okay.
You better do it now.
I told her, I go, "Drive around it, don't go in it."
Okay, let's get this started.
The middle of next week, not.
Middle of next week.
And I'm sitting in the gap for Ellis. He's got a national drug take back on October 26th at the rec center between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And also they're putting drug take back boxes in, I forget how many different locations throughout the county and the city. So you don't have to wait for him to do it here, which is a good thing.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Good evening, Laverne Mahoney, 50 South Florida. Thank you, Mayor, for the update on the street. I did tell some of the neighbors because they know I come to the meeting, so they come and ask what's going on. So I was able to tell a few of them about the update and that it was going to take place soon. Miss Trina made mention of my next door neighbor. You guys have heard me often speak of the way they keep the property and everything else. Well, on Saturday, after coming in, I was going home and it's like 5 teenagers. They sit in this black and white car. They sit out there, they smoke their weed. I'm not against weed, but they sit out there, they smoke their weed, they take their bags and they throw it on the ground. So I just kindly asked, are you guys gonna get that up? Get what up? I said, the stuff that's on the ground that y'all just threw out there. And the young man in the back, Prince, who lives there, he said, yes, ma'am. 20 minutes later, they left and the trash was still on the ground. At this point, I contacted the parents. Both were at work. And so the mom said, well, I'll make sure they get up Saturday morning, they're gonna clean the whole block. Well, that didn't happen. But in either case, it's people such as my neighbor who give other renters a bad name. Because you there, you're not taking care of the property. Other people around are doing what they're supposed to do. I did inform Mr. Jones today. Thank you, Terry. I told him to make note because I was gonna be making note. And I'm not ashamed to stand up to say, yeah, I'm the one that called. Because I told them I'm giving you a courtesy. Because they got to do better. Saturday they had an open house for 25 South Floridale. If I was looking at a house, I don't want to live on that street, trash all up and down, no. So we need to do something about that. So hopefully, with Mr. Jones and Lieutenant Thompson, they'll get on top of that. And I know once before, they was almost out the door. They need to be out the door.
Amen.
Thank you. Any other comments? Now, let's say motion to adjourn. Motion by Alderman Wilkins for second. Second by Alderman Artis. Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Meeting adjourned.
You know,
Right. Yeah,